Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Nitya Putri, and this time I want to make a review about a movie which called The Pursuit of Happyness. Alright, without any further ado, just keep on watching. In the beginning, the events in this film are set in San Francisco, California in 1981. There are several main characters that I mentioned here. The first one is Chris Gardner, the main character. Because Chris is someone who is very persistent in his work and never give up, it can be concluded that his personality is passionate, ambitious, hardworking, courageous, and self-confident. The second one is Christopher, Chris' son. Because he is a child who is very patient and sincere to accompany his father wherever he is, it can be concluded that his personality is cheerful, courteous, patient, obedient, and sincere. Third is Linda, Chris' wife. Because she is someone who is not strong enough to face the difficulties of living with Chris and choose to leave Chris. It can be concluded that her personality is emotional, selfish, unpleasant, stubborn, and unloyal. The fourth is Jay Twizzle, a stockbroker in the office of Dean Witter Reynolds. Because of the kindness of his heart and seeing an ability from Chris, Jay recommends Chris to his co-workers that as Chris can do this job. It can be concluded that his personality is friendly, pioneering, reliable, sympathetic, and helpful. Fifth is Alan Frankish, co-worker of Jay Twizzle. Because he is very often orders people without thinking that his action will harm others, it can be included that his personality is bossy, interrupting, energetic, intolerant, and self-indulgent. The last one is Walter Ribbon, the owner of the Ribbon team. Because he doesn't look down on people and he is very kind, it can be concluded that his personality is generous, frank, warm-hearted, unpredictable, and sensible. The character that I like the most is of course Chris as the main character. He is very patient in living his life. He did everything for his son so that his dream can be achieved and his life becomes prosperous. And I don't like Linda. I know working alone to make money for her family is very tiring. However, she shouldn't have left her husband just because she didn't see any change or success from Chris. Looked down on Chris and said that Chris' dream was nonsense. Okay, now I want to tell you a little bit about this movie. At the beginning of the story, Chris Gardner is a father of a 5-year-old boy. His name is Christopher. He tried to make a living by selling X-ray machine for bones with high price. That machine is the only hope of survival for Chris Gardner and his family. Unfortunately, the machine was deemed unnecessary for doctors. From the beginning of the movie, I was presented of Chris' life with a poor economy. His wife, Linda, had to take extra work shifts to help support them. Additional apartment arrears and tax penalties make their lives feel very suffocating. He had to try to find another job to support his family. Until one day, he just met Jay Twizzle, who had just parked his luxury car in front of Dean Witter Reynolds' office building. That moment made Chris decided to become a stockbroker like Jay Twizzle. Chris told his wife that he wants to be a stockbroker, but she found out that just as funny as if Chris said that he wants to be an astronaut, which means it doesn't make sense. In the middle of the story, even though his wife has belittled him, 6 months of joining an intern program without salary is not an easy thing for Chris. 30 participants who took a part in the program, there was only one person who would be appointed as Dean Witter Reynolds stockbroker. His family's economy made his wife leave him, and he was evicted from his apartment because he had been arrested for months. The tax fine that haunted him finally made him bankrupt and made him the equivalent of the homeless person. Chris and his child had to queue to get the free housing at the homeless house. This condition really made Chris frustrated. The things he did seemed to always be wrong and no avail. The talent and ability that he has doesn't seem to take him anywhere. During those 6 months, he had to manage time between taking care of his child, selling machine that was useful for living, and 6 months studying at a company that offered stockbroking education as well as finding customers for the company. He is also required to have his duties quickly so that he can live in a homeless home. In this case, Chris is required to be super disciplined, learn a lot, and as much as possible to get things done perfectly and best by upholding honesty, integrity, and teamwork. Although at first he was timid and unappreciated, in my opinion, it was his process toward happiness. After all his hard work from 6 months, finally he was selected to work and started his career at Dean Witter. Then he managed to set up his own financial service company, which he named Gardner Ridge. And he became a multi-billionaire philanthropist building a homeless home and remembering that he had experienced. Okay, the part that I like the most is when Chris and Christopher were forcibly evicted from their hostel and then they went to subway station. Chris tried to cheer up his son with his joke that this time machine can transport us to the age of dinosaur, where they have to go into a cave to hide from dinosaur attacks. The cave that Chris meant was the toilet at the train station.
You're not quitting on us yet, are you?
At that moment, I couldn't hold back my tears because I realized how much a father struggles to keep his child happy. And the part I don't like the most is when Alan Frakash tells Chris to do a lot of things while he at work.
Chris,
Yes, sir.
would you give me some coffee, please?
Moreover, when Chris was in a hurry to meet Walter Ribbon, suddenly Alan told Chris to move his car, and at the end, Chris missed the time asked by Walter Ribbon.
Could you move my car? That really helped me out. It's on Sampson, half block, Silver Caprice. Just move it to the other side of Sampson. There's street sweeping. There's spaces. Hang on to these. I have backups in my desk.
Oh, come on.
Chris Gardner, I have an appointment with Walter Ribbon.
Oh, you just missed him.
And he had to pay a fine for parking carelessly. From this movie, there are many lessons to be learned. One of them is that being poor doesn't mean you can't be successful. Many poor people who can only surrender to the life he leads. However, Chris kept trying to work hard and didn't listen to the talk of people who underestimated him, and he also never gave up on the dream he was pursuing. I also want to recommend this film to my friends who are trying to revive their family economy and who are in process for motivating them to keep their spirits up, and of course motivating myself. Wait. Before this video ends, I want to show you a little scene from this movie that makes me feel my euphoria. In this scene, the man is informing Chris that he is officially be a stockbroker.
Would you like that, Chris?
Yes, sir.
Good. We couldn't be happier. So, welcome.
This little part is called happiness.
Okay, maybe that's all my review about The Pursuit of Happiness. I'm sorry if there are any mistaken, and I'm Nitya Putri, but see you.